Hello and welcome back to another Thursday night here at Heroes and Hooligans, where we are playing Gilded Destinies episode 35, part 2 of Antebellum. Hooli, why don't you go ahead and give us a little recap from last session, please?
Yeah, sure. So at the start of last session, we kind of did a little flashback to where Reznor went when there was a knock at the door. It ended up being Rorin, and they went to a place Reznor had been previously, to the Mute Shifter's house, where he needed to make an apology because he was a bad dog. Rorin also told Reznor that Yurtash was the one that sent the wyverns to attack Revan, and that really tripped Reznor's "I'm really pissed off" trigger. So we're going to see what happens with that. And Rorin didn't know why exactly he did that. Jill and the little gang that she was with went and cleared out some undead. They got that taken care of for the druids, and they came back to town. And Jill wanted to set up a clinic in Revan because we know there's war coming, and she wants to make sure that there's like a triage center for all the chaos that's going to be happening. So when they went to the city office, she was like, incoming and departing said that there was a home in the town that was returned to the city at the attack because the owners had died. So Jill went with Fetheric and Nordry to check it out. It just so happened that this home belonged to the assholes that were a part of the attacks, the assassination attempts. Bellar not Bellar, but Auric and Kinnick would be the ones. And they found a secret tunnel. And down in the secret tunnel, when Jill went down, there was a whole wall that looked like a crime scene board of Iron Gut family information. There was empty armor stands and weapon racks, and there was a little tiny, really well done image of a manticore's tail in the corner of the room. So that left some questions to be asked. Zen went to the Undercity with Yurtash, and they went to the Sinful Duck, which is a tavern in the Undercity that just happened to be filled with Yurtash's goons. There's Goresh the Brave, Terran, Zell, and Gol, which are all soldiers. And so they had a little discussion with them. And then Zen took off to go to a glass blowers. He ended up coming across some Drurger, which are dark dwarves, which I'm probably saying that wrong, but it is what it is. And talked to Brennan and his brothers, which they were cursed by the last Shadow Queen, which is the one before Zen's mom. And so Zen's kind of got this thing where he wants to maybe help them be able to go back once the Undercity is connected, because they're a little bit worried, because they said if they're blind, but if their feet touched the ground before their sight returned, that some kind of terrible, awful, I cursed you shit would happen. So that's what I've got. I think that's the end of it. You're muted, Chip.
Yeah, that sounded great. Just one last detail. The horrible curse is that their eyes will explode in their skulls.
Yep, there you go. That's the thing. Exploding eyeballs.
All right. And coming back into things, we see something new. A place none of our party has been before. As the prismatic circle of crystals around Coca-Cola and Grandfather Irongut and his retinue close in and open again. Halls of great stone carved into the mountainside. Buildings that tower above the peaks upon which they are built. The sound of heavy footsteps moving everywhere. Coca-Cola, why don't you tell me what the first thing you notice as you enter Brar is.
Yeah, let me give you a perception so we could see what that says. If I'm even, ooh, that's a great one. That is a natural 20 for 30 perception. So
All right.
I think she sees everything. But I think she's probably distracted by shiny crystals and the pure size of a place that she's heard of. She's a dwarf, she's Kundarak, and Iron Gut at the same time. So she's heard of this place. So I think she's just really it's like when you come to your ancestral homelands for the first time and you just take in the beauty of everything with sort of shock and awe. I think that's probably where she's at. Do you think anything that would
As a native of
particular to her?
As a native of Sharn, you are used to beauty taking many forms. Eclectic beauty, bright colors. There's a different sort of beauty to this place. You can look around and see the buildings are not art in a traditional way. They are beautiful in their simplicity and their function, but not their form. It is looking around, you are reminded not of a land of humans or elves or the closest that I think Coca-Cola has witnessed to this is honestly ants. There is something to the building here that makes you think everything was planned from the moment it began, and the plan is not yet fulfilled. Looking into the distance, you see snow-capped mountains bare of any construction far away. But the closest, almost at the edge of your sight. And then you look up. You see the mountain you stand on has buildings, as I said, carved into the side of it. And you notice that it is a long spiral, always going just slightly higher. And you see two dwarves in full plate armor walk up to your group.
And
Business, pleasure, immigration.
I'll look at grandfather, who's the head of the Iron Gut clan, and allow him to answer that question.
A return home. And a bit of business. I would appreciate an escort to the nearest council hall. You see one of the dwarves here looks up. All right, yeah, we can give you an escort to the council hall. And turns around. Follow me. And you see this group of about, let's see, yourself, teacher, 6 dwarves, grandfather, 9 people. Your grandfather leading the way, flanked on either side by 2 of his landsmen. And you see Your passive insight is a 15, right?
My passive insight?
Yes. I'm just
Uh,
going off right here, not my notes.
16.
16. Damn. That's right. Your proficiency bonuses just went up, didn't they?
No, I didn't level up yet.
Oh, I lied.
You said we were doing one more episode before the war, so I figured we were leveling up at the end, so
Yep.
I didn't touch it.
Yep, that is the plan.
Yeah.
I just forget the things I say.
No, you're fine. I just have one question about the architecture as I kind of write my notes. Is it more like Moria style?
Very brutalist.
Okay. Like Mines of Moria style architecture or Dwemer architecture?
Neither.
Oh, neither.
You can see here that traditional dwarven built, like if these were like more dwarves in the Marholds until a couple hundred years ago all lived underground.
Okay.
Underground architecture does not adapt well to open air. So you get the feeling they figured out what worked once they came up top and said, cool, this is what we're doing, and we're going to become the best at this exact thing.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Again, this is art this is architecture that is beautiful in function, if not form. A lot of like big square topped buildings. Honestly, the best way I can describe it is like almost like every building here is a block of inner city apartments side by side, no space left between buildings.
Okay.
There are no dark and shadowy alleyways here. There is the path you are meant to walk, and it is well lit.
Okay. All right. So I think she picks up the chest that has the blood rubies and follows grandfather in the escort out of the teleportation circle.
All right. As you make your way through the city, go ahead and just give me, on a nat 20 for a 30, you're not going to have to roll perception rolls about the city itself from here on out.
Okay.
Moving through the city, you see a number of people wearing patches similar to yours. Different symbol on them, but very similar. Who keep turning to just catch a glimpse of grandfather. A few of them lean over and whisper to each other. And you notice that behind you, you seem to have gained not quite a crowd, but a little bit of a following. Some people who are interested enough in whatever is happening with the lost clan Irongut.
Okay.
To take a little bit of time out of their day and see what's going on. They don't appear to be hiding or anything, and they do seem to be giving you a little bit of a respectable distance, but they are following you. You'd say there's about 8 to 10 people right now.
Okay. And I was rolling to see if I could discern, like, if maybe she had learned about any of the families by their patches, but I only got a 9, so I assume she doesn't remember or notice.
And that was on a history check?
Yeah, history, yeah. I only got a 9.
You recognize the symbols on these patches as being symbols of other clans of the Marholds, but on a 9, you cannot.
Yeah, figure out what
you remember the symbols as like a grouping of, oh, these 7 symbols mean that this person is associated with the Marholds and their clans,
Right.
but I don't remember who each of those symbols goes to specifically.
Okay.
It's like you know these are flags. You just don't remember which country's flags they are.
Yeah, that's what I figured would end in 9, because I mean she has a patch too, so she would recognize patches being, family crests and so on, but just not which families are which.
All right. Oh, one moment. There is a cat trapped with me who wants out. I will be right back.
Sure.
I'm sorry, baby.
I think Kakola probably has a little anxiety too, with this stuff going on, because she's by herself at a place that she's never been and only heard of. Like, grandfather's here, that's comforting and such, but I think it's a little more straining on her anxiety, just because, like, Jillian's not there and grandfather's going to be attending business. It's a little anxious.
Sorry about that. That was a very angry baby.
You're good. You're good.
Let's see. As you approach the council hall, you see, honestly, a building that stands out through being lesser. It does not reach towards the sky as like the other buildings here. It is simple. One floor, carved out of mountain stone, no windows, and a plain oak door with a circular sigil stamped on the front of it, bearing a hammer and a pickaxe crossed over each other.
Okay.
Thank you for the escort. I'll let you get back to your jobs. And your grandfather walks up to the door, opens it, and enters. Before entering the door yourself, you see he steps in, leans slightly to the left. Looks like he's saying something to someone who's just outside of your vision. And you hear, announcing clan head Iron Gut and his retinue.
I feel like grandfather's name is Brutus.
We don't know. It's never been stated. His name might be grandfather.
I feel like it's Brutus in the line of, we have soda themed names, and there's a European soda called Iron Brew, and last name is Iron Gut, so Brutus is his name. Has to be.
Well, I'm so sorry, Kakola. But I do believe the soda names were a Kundarak family trait.
I still think Brutus is a good name.
I think it's a good name, too. We can make your grandfather's name Brutus. I'm absolutely fine with that. Just be ready for him to stab you 37 times.
You know what? YOLO.
You are entering the Senate building. As we all know, I am the Senate. Do you follow your grandfather into council hall?
Absolutely, yeah. Unless he tells me to stay.
No, the rest of the retinue appears to be following along, and you see he turns back to you as you walk in, just a few steps ahead of you. Again, like maybe 10 feet. Coca-Cola, dear. It would perhaps be wise in these halls to remain silent until spoken to or of.
I can do that. And he has his entourage with him as well, right? Like some of the folks from the city.
You see there are two of his landsmen, two of the dwarves here flank him on the left and right, and the rest of them have spread out throughout this entrance hall, the other four.
Okay, so
to just kind of stop.
I'll hand the chest that I've been carrying off to two of the men from the retinue, and I'll sort of step off to the side and just cross my hands in front of me and stand respectfully.
All right. I will enter the halls ahead of you, so that I may plead our case. Watch the door.
That I can do.
And you see, like, you could not tell from the outside, but inside this hall, it is busy. There are people running everywhere. You see mostly dwarves, but there are a few humans and gnomes mixed in. You see also the inside of this hall, in contrast to the outside, is opulent. The walls studded with gems, the mortar inlaid with gold, and hanging above your head, a massive crystal. No, that's not crystal. Diamond chandelier. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you keep watch on the door here. And you let me know whether you interpret that as the door to the council chambers or the door to the city proper.
13 perception. And he said he was going to enter the chamber before me, watch the door.
Yeah, you see your grandfather just straight up walks into the council chamber seconds after saying that.
Yeah, so I think she probably thinks the council chamber door, not the main door to the city.
Cool. And you got a 13?
Yep.
And your passive is 20?
Passive perception is 20, yes.
Okay. So what I will do here, since you are focusing on the council chamber door, is I'll let you use your passive for that. 13 is going to apply to the front door. Whichever one was lower was going to go to the one you didn't focus on, whether it was your passive or your roll.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we're going to cut to Reznor standing over a freshly slain young red dragon. Reznor, your hunt is complete. Roran looks over at you. This should be gone by now. We should be all right to go start our investigation. We probably should have brought a cart to drag this back with us. Well, suppose we'll have to lift it. Resmer, what's your carrying capacity?
Uh,
Or what's your strength score? That
20.
I can just do the math for you.
It's straight 20.
Straight 20? All right, so you can comfortably lift 600 pounds and move half your speed. So working together with Roran, it is awkward because this thing is about the size of the two of you combined, but you are able to like grab it by the paws and drape it over your shoulders to carry it forward, carry it back towards the fortress with yourself.
Gotcha. Well, we never used carts back in the day, so why start now?
You know, it. I tell you that there's a lot of conveniences that we didn't use that we could start using. You know, or we can always be better.
Nothing ever hurt. Good hard work.
All right. As you approach the fortress, she turns to you. Do you think should we leave? Should we bring this back with us now, or should we leave it and come back and bring it in later?
Well, if we leave it here, we do run the risk of someone stumbling upon it. But if we come back, then everyone at least will see us as having hunted.
Yes, yes. All right. Sounds like a plan then. All right. And she is going to continue to drag it back in with you. All right. So I had a couple of ideas on how to start the investigation. We could perhaps poke about in his rooms. We could go speak to some of his underlings. I do wish I'd thought to recruit a druid by now. We could have asked the wyverns what happened.
I do know of a druid, but I think getting him now is a little too late in the action of things. Do you think his underlings?
He certainly has underlings we could speak to.
How committed to him are they?
Considering the unit name they chose for themselves was the Blood of Yurtosh, I don't think it's impossible, you know, that he has many goblins who serve him as well, who, well, a good portion of them are a right cowardly sort.
So we're going to have to break a few toes, is where I'm hearing. Now, let's start with his room first.
Start with his room? All right. I think, and you see she pulls a massive key ring from her belt. I think it's this one. Should we go together? Do you need me to run interference? Do you want to run interference and I'll go search?
Have you been in his room before?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Have you been in his room before?
I've been in the doorway while he was in there.
If you're found in there, I feel like there's more of a chance of it not being questioned. So I say either we go together or I run interference.
I truly do not know which is the wiser option. Let's go together.
Okay.
We're in this together.
Just like the good old days.
All right. How do you move through the walls, Reznor, to this room? Are you trying to move with purpose, like you are meant to be here? Are you trying to sneak by?
I think Reznor has been around here enough. He's going to just act like he's supposed to be here until they get to the room.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a deception check, please. You'll get the help action from Rory.
Is that advantage?
Yes.
Oh, good, because I very much was going to need it on that one. Well, 12.
12. Moving through, you are not stopped or questioned by any of the children or civilians that roam these walls. But as you come up to the last room before the armory, you see two orcs standing there, blood red handprints on their face. Looks like a red tattoo.
Gotcha. Are they?
And you notice this hand has an extra thumb. I can't do that with my hands. There we go. Similar to that.
Friend's got an extra thumb. Are they like? So if they're in the armory, are they looking out like they're on guard, or are they like rummaging around the armory?
It looks like one of them is taking inventory here in the armory, and one appears to be on guard, just like keeping an eye on everything. Looks like it's an accountability system, honestly, so that the person doing inventory can't steal stuff and then just say, "Oh, well, it was never there."
Gotcha. Have they noticed us?
Oh, definitely. Like this is not like it's a big room. It's not a room with a ton of places to hide, and the door is very easy to see as you walk into the armory.
I'll kind of glance at Roran, and then is there what's near me that I can grab, like a weapon?
Yeah, there. Any weapon you want is nearby, as long as it's non-magical.
So I'll grab an axe, kind of similar to mine, and then like hold them next to each other. But see, this one just like has a much better feel, like deep in my chest when I hold it, and act like I'm explaining my axe to her.
Well, they say a warrior's soul rests in their blade. Perhaps this blade is tied to yours.
So the door to his room, we're gonna have to pass them. Is there a blind spot to get to his room once we're past the armory?
Give me perception or investigation.
I'll go perception. It's the same. That's a 6.
6. Maybe you could like sneak around them while they're distracted with the inventory. I'll tell you mechanically, you're going to be rolling stealth with disadvantage because you did not find a good path through.
Yeah, okay. Just so I have the layout in my head. So the armory leads directly to his room.
There is a door to his room. The only door to his room is on the back wall of the armory.
Okay.
You would guess his room probably used to be like a quartermaster's office or something like that.
All right. I'll kind of we'll walk by him as I'm still holding these two axes, And then I'll turn to them and be like, so, do you guys like see the difference here? Like, I know I feel a difference, but is it in my head that there's a real difference? And I'm gonna try and take a peek at the list to see how close they are to being done.
Yeah, give me like, I'll say first, just give me a persuasion check. Roran will give you a help action on this as well.
Oh, I'm kind of persuasive. I am a charming guy, aren't I? I rolled 18 both times. So 18.
Nice. You see the one who appears to be watching the other one leans over to you. That one's... If you look at the edge of the blade here, you can see... Watch. And he presses his hand up next to the blade, and about like a quarter inch before his hand actually makes contact with the metal, you see just a little line of red appear on his hand. You can tell this one's magical because the force of the cutting edge extends past the metal. That's probably why it feels better to you.
Oh, I see. Do I get to sneak a peek at the list?
Yeah, you can sneak a peek at the list. It looks like it's about half done.
Okay.
Looks like they've basically finished up with weapons and are moving on to armor and miscellaneous. But you see, while you speak to this guardsman, Roran puts the key in the lock and turns it before quickly taking it out and putting the keys away. She's going to make a sleight of hand check. We're not going into combat. I would like you to roll initiative, Reznor, because we are going to go into turn order here.
No. All right, I'm good at initiative, and I got advantage. Oh, needed that. Never mind. That's 12.
12? All right. All right. First to act is going to be the guardsman you're speaking to, whose head snaps over as you all hear the jangling of this key ring being shoved back into a pocket. Miss Longclaw, everything all right? Do you need the boss for something? Because he's not here. Roran. And Roran speaks up. Well, I just needed to retrieve something from his room. She's going to make it roll a deception against an insight. Boss says no one goes in there without his permission. And his turn ends as he walks up to Rowan. Or Roaring.
Okay.
Passes to you.
Sneaky is not our strong suit here. I'm gonna walk kind of alongside the guy. Like, well, he just said it was something real quick. I think it was something for Zenlin, I think, is what he said. And he wanted real down low that we were grabbing it.
Give me a deception. Would you... I'll ask you this. I'll allow you to get the help action from Roran on this. She will not be able to make another check on her turn. If so.
I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and stick with just my roll.
Hell yeah.
So a 15.
15. Oh, well, oh, yeah, I mean, so boss told you to come grab it?
Yeah, he stayed at the tower last night with Zenlin, so he wanted to.
Oh, a little bit of a lover's gift. I understand.
And
Well,
it was loud too.
yeah. I mean, we can't. Yeah, I mean, if boss says so, go on in.
Appreciate it, and I appreciate you showing me the stuff about the axe. That had been bugging me forever.
Oh, we're happy to help. Happy to help, Reznor. Goldbag, pleasure to meet you.
Reznor Greyback.
I'm familiar with who you are.
As you should be. He'll puff his chest out a little bit.
All right, Miss Longclaw. Sorry to interrupt you while you were trying to help the boss. Yeah, head on in. And you head into your Tasha's room. You see a unlit fireplace in here with a chimney. You can see the chimney hole is only about. Not going to demonstrate with my hands like that. Is only about maybe 4 inches across. Definitely couldn't climb down it unless you were tiny.
Okay.
You see a rather plain bed, a empty weapons rack, empty armor stand, a desk, and an armchair in front of a floor-length mirror.
So, I'm assuming. I'm gonna guess we leave the door open. I feel like it would be weird to do this and close the door.
Yeah, you can leave the door open.
Is the desk in sight line of the orcs?
It looks like they've gone back to their work. They don't appear to be watching you while you work. So mechanically, what I'll let you know is they're receiving a -5 to their passive perceptions, and if they make an active one, they'll roll it with disadvantage.
Okay. Reznor will stride over to the desk very confidently, like he knows he's exactly where he should be going.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and give me just a little investigation check if you want to check out the desk.
Investigation. 5. Reznor's not rolling today.
5. That's just a flat roll of 5 for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you see, like, there's papers, there's an ink pot, there's a quill, but there's no new information written down here that you or Roran doesn't already know.
I'll kind of step to the side and let her at the desk, but
yeah,
you
actually turn to look and you see Roran is like currently looking under the bed. Reznor, there's a box back under here. I can't quite reach it, but I know your arms are a little longer than mine.
I can do that. So Reznor will go over to her and reach under.
You pull out a little box, maybe 4 by 3 inches. Just a wooden box, lids on top of it. Doesn't appear to be locked.
I'm sorry, how big did you say it was?
4 inches by 3.
Okay.
Or 4 by 3 by 4. So 4 inches tall, 4 inches long, 3 inches wide.
And it doesn't appear to be locked. I'll try to open it real quick.
You're able to just lift the lid off of it. And inside, you see a necklace. Platinum chain. Little round amulet on the end. And that same sigil that is tattooed on the faces of the orcs you saw is engraved. Well, no, engraved is not the word. Is set into this amulet in blood red gem.
It is also 6-fingered.
It is.
I'll kind of like look at Roran and be like, do you know what this is?
I think it's just Yotash's personal sigil.
Okay.
I think it's like his symbol as a chief.
Gotcha.
But this amulet would have... I can't... Maybe there's a never mind. I don't know. It's just a very valuable thing to have stuck in an unlocked box under your bed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if he feels it's protected here.
Yeah, makes sense, you know.
Is that
I
all
suppose
that's in this box?
I suppose if you've gotten through, you know, the entire fortress to get to it, then a lock's probably not going to stop you, huh?
Yeah. I think not really find a whole lot. I feel like it would be best not to take this, especially after we're seeing coming here.
Yes. And you see Roran kind of doesn't quite lick her lips, but you see her tongue like move across her teeth. It's quite valuable, though. What? No, and she puts it back in the box. All right, not what we're looking for. Not what we're here for. Although, if we do leave the room without a gift for Zenlin,
Is there a candle on the desk?
it's unlit, but yeah, definitely.
Reznor's gonna grab the candle. I mean, I think people in the cities give these as gifts sometimes.
Yes, Coca-Cola. I thought you were just straight up raising your hand for a second. They're like, I have something to say.
I think she was raising her hand to say she's one of the city people that buys candles and gives them as gifts.
It's just like a plain candle, like a lighting candle. But yeah.
I'm just. Do you want to take one more look in the desk before we go? I didn't find anything, but
I'll take a look there. Why don't you take a look around the rest of the room, see if you can find anything. Maybe he's got like, I don't know, maybe there's something tucked away somewhere.
Reznor will do another investigation around the room.
All right. Because of the time constraint, any checks made from this point on, including this one, will be made with disadvantage since you're trying to rush, so you're not hanging out in here for half an hour with guards outside.
All right, investigation at disadvantage.
Or you can take your time if you want and roll flat.
No, I think we're rushing now.
All right. Roll with disadvantage. I'll let you know you need to hit a DC 5 to be... If you get below a 5, something's going to happen.
I don't like that. But...
If you get above a 10, maybe you could find something.
Well, maybe I got my bad rolls out of the way. You know? God dang it, it's a 5. I got a 5.
Okay. On a 5, you tell me where else in the room you're looking first.
So I've already been to the bed. I've already been in the mirror or the desk. I'll probably go like towards the mirror.
All right. Poking around the mirror. At first, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Like it's, a plain mirror, silver-backed mirror. And you look at the back of it. You see there's a little hook on the back. And though a large portion of the back of it is quite dusty, there's a little circle about 6 inches down from the hook that is clear of dust.
Huh. Does it look like it would fit the necklace
Looks
under the
about-
bed?
Looks about the same size, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I'll tell you now, the bad thing has not happened yet. It's coming.
Yep. Resner will kind of look at that, and then he'll move on to maybe around the fireplace.
Okay. Give me another investigation with disadvantage. I'll make roll-ins for the desk quick. I'm not finding anything here. Anything for you? Did you find anything over there?
There's a little spot on the back of his mirror that matches the amulet, but that's about it. I also rolled a 6 chip for my investigation.
6. Nothing around the fireplace.
I kind of look back at Roaring if she still hasn't found anything. Be like, I think we should grab the candles.
You said 6?
Yes.
It's odd that this fireplace doesn't have any charred logs in it.
Well, we're risking it for the biscuit. I'm looking inside.
I mean, you're looking in. There's just like even looking into the fireplace, you can see there is ash on the ground of it, so it doesn't look like it's been cleaned out. But there's no charred logs.
I'll mention that to Roaring as well.
All right. Roaring walks over, sticks her head out of the door. Hey, boys. Gift is supposed to be Zen in Yotosh's eyes only. And I've got to wrap it for him. Do you mind? Could one of you go run and grab me some paper or something? I'll keep an eye. You keep taking your inventory. I'll keep an eye on him while you go run and grab me some paper. How about that? Does that work? And you see the one you were speaking to says, "Hey, whatever you need, Lady Longclaw," and walks out of the room. Sticks her head back in and whispers over to you, "I think we've got a bit more time now."
Oh, okay.
And she's going to step back out into the armory to keep watch over the orc currently doing inventory. There's got to be something in here, Resnal. Just keep looking. Do whatever you have to find it. I don't know. Maybe there's a compartment in the back of the mirror or something. Maybe that necklace is a key, and that's what you wouldn't lock a key up, right?
This is true. I went out. Resner's gonna go try and get the necklace and put it on the back of the mirror.
No check needed. You take the necklace over to the mirror. Do you want to look at the mirror itself more closely or anything? Like try to see if you can figure anything out about it, or are you just following orders?
He's probably just following orders now.
All right. You put the chain of this amulet on the hook. It dangles down, sways side to side a bit from the momentum of you placing it, touches the back of the mirror, and we're going to cut to the Undercity. Zenlin, finding your way back to the Sinful Duck. I believe that was your intention, leaving the glass blowers anyways.
Yeah.
Did I have you roll the check to find your way back yet?
I don't think so. And I was gonna say Zenlin's just kind of taking it all in as he goes. You know, does he see it? Any good
Cool.
battle spots? Any people that draw his attention? That kind of thing as he goes. But yeah, I can give you your survival.
Yeah, just give me a survival. I'm going to say once you get back to the floor it's on, you're gold. But give me a survival to navigate the floors.
Okay. Well, we got a natural 8 +1 for 19.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to make your way through here very quickly, and I'll say that'll apply to your scouting the Undercity as well. You see a couple of good choke points here in the lower levels as you make your way back up. In case you had to fall back and abandon a level of the Undercity or anything. This would be a good point to fall back to. There is a plaza where you can see a derelict fountain, no longer moving the water within it. You can tell this used to be a beautiful sculpture and art piece, but it is now moss covered, and the pool around it is filled with algae. You see a very humble temple. Looks like it's open air. There are no walls to this building. It's closer to an outdoor altar than a temple, really. But you see that where it stands, 3 roads intersect, and the cavern above one of these roads hangs very low. Might be possible to trigger a cave-in. And the third choke point you see, or not choke point necessarily, but good place for a battle, is an open plaza about 120 feet across, circular plaza, where the ground is not just the hewn stone of the Undercity, but brick laid on top of it. An open field for enemies to rush at your people on. Could be useful to you. Good place to lay a lot of traps. And with the bricks there, with enough workforce, you could hide the traps below the ground without having to carve into the rock of the city itself.
He's gonna note all 3 of those to mention whenever he gets back.
Yeah. And you make your way back to the Sinful Duck. You see, as you walk up, Yurtosh is standing by the door, looks over at you. Find anything interesting while you were out and about?
Meh, nothing you guys probably don't know already.
All right, but Russian beats ass. Fuck.
In Soviet Russia.
All right, but yeah, he looks to you. I've just about got what I needed to get done complete, but I wanted to ask you advice on something, Zenlin.
Okay.
They've got their new standing orders and all that, but after what happened last time I left them with orders, I'm wondering if you think it'd be wiser to trust in the men that I've been with for some time, that they can handle things back at the fort, and I'll stay here and supervise these the local regiment. Or do you think it's best that I head home and keep running logistics, trusting these people to do what's right for their city?
Can I try and read him?
Yeah, you can give me an insight.
No, I can't. He seems honest with a natural 1 for 2.
I think on a natural 1, what happens isn't that you trust what he's asking, is that you assume what he's saying has truth to it, but you feel there is something else he is asking as well, and have no clue what it is.
Have you talked about this with your men? The ones here, I mean.
I have. They assured me there will be no further issues, but to believe in assurance, there has to be trust. And I trust them. I trust them not to stab me in the back. I don't know if I trust them to be smart.
Look around, Yotosh. We're pretty sure the council's going to take their time. But we've got days. What do you need them to be smart about? You need them to not move. You don't need them to be smart. You need them to not be idiots. And surely your men can do that.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion with advantage. Unless you're lying, in which case roll deception and don't tell me which one you did. And that will also be with advantage.
That's complicated because I'm not lying, but I may or may not have an ulterior motive / plan here that's going to backfire.
Well, on an ulterior motive, he'd pick up on, he'd be rolling an insight to pick up on that, but you'd still roll persuasion.
Okay. Non-natural 20 is what he's looking to be.
All right. Well, with a persuasion check, you were looking to hit a DC, so he's not rolling against that. It was more a matter of if you failed, he would have gotten an insight to see,
That's fair. Makes sense.
Yeah, you're right. They've already looked. You know what? How are you going to know someone's learned their lesson if you don't, give them a chance to show it? All right, why don't we head back to the circle, check in with our little watcher, and then head home.
All right. There's something I wanted to ask you about on the way back, too.
Certainly.
So then he'll start walking and be silent for a couple blocks, but not too long before he says, having that many men together in a fort, people talk.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, I may have heard something.
Oh, what would that be?
That you sent the wyverns after Revan a few days ago.
Roll initiative. we're not going into initiative order yet. I just want you to have it ready.
Nope, that's fair. Zen got an 11, not off
All right.
initiative.
Cool. Your passive insight's a wait. I have it here. I can just check.
It's 11.
Damn, I've been one number off on passive insights all
Thought
night.
it was a 12.
I think it must be that last time I memorized them was right before your proficiency bonus went up. All right. Yeah, 12. Well, no, you don't have proficiency in that, so that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
I
I
have no
don't.
idea. I've got no clue what I'm doing.
It happens.
A flash of something crosses his face. There is a flash of emotion there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very complex emotion that he then very quickly stifles.
Zenlin keeps walking. He didn't stop and turn to face him when he said this. He just nonchalantly said it while they were walking and keeps going. Obviously, he's keeping an eye out and watching for any reaction, but he's not actively.
Yeah. Well, interesting rumor you heard there. Gonna ask who you heard it from.
Heard it from the horse's mouth, friend.
He's gonna make an insight just to try to figure out what you're saying there, because there's a couple ideas running through my head of what he might think that means.
That's fair.
You know, I respect a man who's bold enough to admit when he's been eavesdropping.
I don't know. If I was talking to my boss and confessing something I did, I might try and talk a little quieter so it can't be heard through a door.
That's right. When the door was closed. How did you? You shouldn't have been able to hear me through that door.
I am, the son of the Shadow Queen after all. There are benefits. And he'll just stretch.
Well, all right. Yeah, I did. I sent wyverns against enemy combatants, as far as I was aware at the time.
So what did they do that made them enemy combatants? Had they attacked the fort? No, they didn't even know you were there.
They'd sent some scouts. They'd sent some scouts out who spotted my men. Couldn't
What
have
were
that.
these? Do you have a description of these scouts? How many were there?
2 dwarves, big beard, black cloak.
Any identifying symbols?
None that I noticed.
Markings on them? Tattoos? Piercings? Hair color?
Faces covered. I only know they had beards because they stuck out from under the cowl.
And when you they were scouting out, where?
They passed by us going east towards the mayor's house. I'd assumed they were reporting in.
Yotash? I'm going to trust you here, okay?
Aye?
I trust that you acted out of ignorance. But for your information, based on what you said, it's not much. I don't believe you saw scouts. I do believe that you saw assassins that had no interest or knowledge of your group.
What, you're saying a couple of assassins just happened to pass by a patrol?
I'm saying you saw 2 people heading towards the mayor's house the day before the mayor declared a new traveler and foreigner from Revan to be the deputy mayor while he went on a trip with his sick and injured wife.
All right.
I understand you're not in the city and you may not have had all those details, but you did meet the deputy mayor.
Yeah, and that's why we're fine now. But you know what? You've extended a lot of trust to me, Zenden. Will you extend just a bit more?
I said I'll take you at your word and trust you. I can't. I'm not the person you have to answer to. Revan's nothing to me.
I'm not asking you to trust my word right now. I'm asking you. I have a way to. Did you see these men? These dwarves?
I saw their corpses.
Just, all right, think very hard of their corpses and when you saw them. And please, give me this trust. If you would give me this trust, I can tell you if these are the dwarves my men saw.
I can do so.
All right, he is going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. I'm going to imagine the one that I got the best look at, which would be the one at grandfather's house, which probably wasn't one of the two he saw. But I did help transport the other corpses, so I'll do the best I can with the other two.
You can think of he's just looking. Basically, he's looking at the memory. Can I push a bit further?
Sure.
And you feel in your head. You've had Detect Thoughts cast on you before by Jolly and Coca-Cola. Actually, I don't think Coca-Cola, just Jolly. When Jolly cast it, it was like getting a song stuck in your head almost. There is a white hot lance piercing your skull. I'm sorry. Us them. And there was a third? And at the front of your mind right now is the memory of those corpses in the caverns. And the pain recedes. I'm sorry. If I could, I tried to be as gentle as I could. It's just, it's the way the magic works. I try not to use it unless I have to.
I appreciate that. Now that you've confirmed that, I'm going to give you the same chance.
I'll offer formal apology and wear Gilded to the city.
That's fine. I just wanted to give you the same chance you're giving your men to show that you've learned from your mistakes.
I have. I learned from this mistake not too long after I made it. But
if that's the case and you give me your word that you stand by our agreement that we've made, then when my friends come after you, because I assure you they will. I haven't told them, but I assure you they will find out whether I tell them or not. I will do what I can to keep them from killing you. That came out way worse than I meant it to, but that's really the best I can do.
I appreciate that, and honestly, at the end of the day, once all this is over and there's not a huge issue to worry about here in the Undercity. I'd love to see your friends try. Could be fun. And you know what? I'll make a promise back to you, Zendin. When your friends try to kill me, I won't return the favor.
Does Yurtash seem that strong, or is he just talking?
Give me an insight. Sorry, that didn't come through if you said it.
18.
18? You've not seen this guy fight. He's at least as corded with muscle as Reznor, and apparently also has magic of some sort.
That's true. I didn't even think about that till you just said it.
You don't know, you don't think for sure that he could take all three of them at the same time, but you think it would at least be, you can't think of a single one-on-one fight where it would be like in that party member's favor.
Peek behind the curtain. Zenlin is doing his best to not show this. He is gonna say I appreciate that and start walking again. What's going through Zenlin's mind is how close he was to trying to pull a dagger and just stab this guy in the throat 30 seconds ago.
I you know what? On a 18 insight, for a fact that if you had just randomly jumped this guy, and like, if you had been a complete stranger to him and randomly jumped him, you probably would have been split in half.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what that was the peek behind the curtain. That is exactly what Zenlin's thinking.
On an 18, I'll give you a peek behind the curtain. It is very possible for this man to drop you in the first round of combat with your 48 hit points.
So that's who you were talking about. No, I'm kidding.
No. And to be clear, I made a joke in our back chat a couple of days ago about, well, Mistra's not here to stop 12th level spells. Someone's going to have mass power word kill. No one in this campaign, no one who currently has appeared on screen in this campaign, very few people in this campaign would have access to that sort of magic.
Oh, gee, I wonder who we're talking about.
It's not your mom. Your mother does not.
Nah, you told me what she was.
Yeah, if your mom had 12th level spells, there wouldn't be an Eberron anymore.
It's Reznor, accurate. Reznor is the one with 12th level spells. He uses 12th level bite. But yeah, Zenlin's just gonna start walking and try to keep his cool like he didn't just almost kill himself.
Yeah, you continue to approach the teleportation circle. Yurtash checks in with his little goblin spy.
I've been doing all the sneak since, boss. No stabbings yet. But ain't nobody come through. You're sure there's going to be lots of stabbings at the end of the week, yeah? Definitely. All right, well, I'll keep in touch, boss. Got my stone.
Why don't you use that to call back home and let them know we're on our way?
And Zen will begin casting.
Zen, wait, one moment. With your updated schedule for troop movements, we don't need to start today.
Honestly, I learned some things I would kind of like to talk to my group a bit before the day of the battle so we can plan as well.
They all had plans today, yeah? Maybe.
Yeah.
Could
definitely today.
I steal 2 hours of your time
Sure. I mean,
for us to just?
we're gonna go back to the fort. Oh,
Well,
if you weren't aware, I know the coordinates to the fort.
No, I know you do.
Okay.
But yeah. And he pulls a scrap of parchment out. There's something I'd like you to see. There's somewhere I'd like to take you.
All right.
If you're willing, while we've got. God, it's so odd to be in a massive rush to get something done and also have nothing that needs done at this moment.
Listen, if you're telling me what I think you're telling me, it's your gems, not mine. Or is it here in the Undercity, the place you want to take me?
No, I want you to take me here. And he hands you a set of teleportation coordinates. I want to take you here, but I can't, do the magic.
I've got you. Like I said, your gems, not mine. And he'll begin casting to wherever this is going to take us. While
Alright.
trying to commit the coordinates to memory, but I know that takes time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say just go ahead and give me an Arcana check quick if you want to try to memorize them as quickly as possible. You're looking to hit a 15.
I was so close to a natural 20, but instead it's a 2. These ones.
You can take some time later on if you still got the paper to memorize them.
Yep, just
just
like
can't.
the other one.
Yep. The spell goes off. And when it fades, it is just as dark as the shadowy hallway that you walk through to get here, or that you move through to get here. And we're going to move back to Revan, where our dear Jillian Rilke has just left this assassin's hideout. Jill, what are you up to?
She is trying to remember why I left the guys there to guard it.
You left Fethric and Nordry there to drive it, or to guard it.
Yeah. She's gonna go to the tower and she's going to write a note to Coca-Cola and leave it in Coca-Cola's room, just explaining what she found, the hideout, and that she was able to secure the medication and stuff so that she can take care of people should we need it, which we probably will.
All right. You leave this note.
She does need to buy some ingredients.
Yeah. What kind of ingredients are you looking to buy?
She was going to get some diamond dust for greater restoration, and then some diamonds for revivify.
Yeah. All right. You are able to head to the local jewelers. You let me know how much you want to buy of each of these things. Like, how many component doses for greater resto are you grabbing?
Let's see. I think she'll only be able to buy one diamond. She only has enough gold for one diamond.
And you can spend out of party gold as well, I think.
Okay.
If the party's fine with that.
How about 3 then. She'll get 3 diamonds for Revivify. And for Greater Restoration, maybe.
Cool. So that means I just need to kill 4 of you. Oh, wait, that's everybody.
Then for Greater Restoration, maybe 3 as well.
All right, 3 of each. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. You're able to get those. Is there anything else you want to do today?
She's going to go back to the city hall, and she's going to draft up like a questionnaire asking who has healing skills, who can help should we need it,
Yeah.
who wants to volunteer at the clinic that will be eventually opening.
Yeah. You draft up like basically almost a press release of a new volunteer clinic is opening. Does anybody want to help out? Also, it's going to be very crowded soon. But yeah, you draft up a release for the people of the city. And departing says, I'll get this delivered to every doorstep.
Excellent. Does Jill know where Beep is?
I'll say, I believe last we saw Beep, he was with Reznor and Feather getting a new arm. I think it's 5. How many gold? It's 300 gold diamond for Revivify. So 900 for that, and then it's 50 or 100 a dose for Greater Resto.
Yeah, it's 100 for Greater Restoration.
So total of 1,200 gold. Or hold on.
Yes.
Oh. What? Okay. What is the difference? What do you have?
Okay, I have. Let's see where I just scrolled.
We
past
have
it.
only
I have
480 party gold right now.
So
All right,
that's
so
one
that
of
is enough
each.
for 1 Revivify, 1 Greater Restoration.
Okay. I have 439 gold.
Okay, so that's enough for 1 more of each. So you could have 2 of each.
Okay. All right.
Actually, yeah, 2 of each.
Okay. Just writing it down.
Or actually, you have enough for 2 Revivifies, 3 Greater Restorations if you want to spend all of your personal gold and like 90% of the party gold.
No,
Well,
I'll
money
just.
won't help us if we die, so better spend it all on stuff to stay alive.
And the thing that Zenlim needed money for, he doesn't need money for now.
Cool.
Okay. All right. I will get 3 of the diamond dust, and then and then 2 for the Revivify.
All right, sounds good. So you've got your diamonds.
Yes, got them.
You've
I'll add
got
them to my
your-
inventory.
And you've got your release drafted. On that release, go ahead and make me a persuasion check. This is on townspeople, so you'll get your advantage.
Okay.
And I'll say, if you want to take your time and draft this, we will add a +3 to the roll.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take her time. So that would be 21, 24.
24? Amazing.
Yes.
I'll let you know that by the end of this week, that clinic will be fully staffed. You find out from incoming and departing, there are not a lot of like magical healers here, but a lot of people here have trained in medicine to some point. So they'll be able to keep people stable while you and anybody else with magical healing provide care.
Okay, excellent. She's going if she can find Beep, she's going to head back to where the clinic's going to be and
Cool. Just give me
start preparing.
a little. Actually, no. You know what? You can find Beep for free. Doodle. Beep beep.
Yeah,
As he
she's gonna
sort of drives into your ankle a little bit.
ask him to make an espresso shot and then talk to him about what she needs done. Talk about like, hey, I've got a little bit of a remodel going on here.
And you see he actually sort of moves ahead of you. Beep is full dashing to get to this building where they're doing the rebuild.
Yeah.
Pulls up to the door, and you see out of Beep's back, a little spindly arm unfolds, reaches up, the pincer grabs the handle, turns it, opens it. Boop, 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 boop. And you see Beep look up at you, as if awaiting instruction.
All right. She's going to say, okay, buddy, we got to do some cleaning up here. And she's going to explain to him like her vision of what she wants the place to look like. And, but tell him to stay away from the secret tunnel.
Boop. And you see Beep folds his arm back down, drives back out the door, and you hear almost a klaxon alarm go off. Boop, beep, boop, beep. And you see a bunch of people who you saw working on the granary the other day run up and begin to help Beep with the remodel.
Excellent.
Lord Beep. And everyone gets to work. Jillian, are you sticking around to help with the remodel yourself?
Yes. Yeah, she's going to stay there.
Wonderful. Do you want to give Beep the help action, or do you want Beep to give you the help action?
See,
Or you can both roll separately.
Yeah, I'll help Beep.
You'll help Beep?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Very good, because Beep's first roll was a natural 2. Jesus fucking Christ. Why can I only roll crits when I'm doing things for NPCs? Yeah. Beep is working on the remodels. And seems to have taken your plans, run them through his little computer brain, and been like, there's a more efficient way to do this. By the time dusk falls, the entire floor has been torn up, except for the portion underneath that chest. And Beep has instructed people to begin laying stone down in its place. The clinic is coming together quite nicely. Are you going to work through the night? Because Beep sure is.
No,
or is Jill going to go rest?
She's going to go rest.
All right. As dusk falls here around 7 in the evening, we're going to go back to Resnor as this amulet locks into place on the back of the mirror. You hear from the other side of it a rush of wind and a little bit of light is cast on the wall opposite its face. Whereas you are still standing behind the mirror at this point. What do you do?
I'm gonna kind of look around to see what's on the mirror now.
Oh, you want to like walk around and look at it?
I don't even know if he's gonna fully walk around. He's kind of gonna like to the side and kind of like see if he can see what's going on the mirror.
Okay, you want to like step to the side and try to peer at it?
Yeah, kind of like his head will be like at the mirror, looking around it.
Like craning your neck around almost?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're stepping to where you can see the mirror?
Yes.
Okay. Resnor, you move to the side, turn your head, and see a black room lit with blue fire. Three empty thrones. And you hear the scrape of long claws, nails, something on stone approaching the other side, yet unseen. But something is moving towards the other side of the mirror.
Darn. I think he probably, if he doesn't see anything and he hears something, he's probably gonna move the necklace again if he can.
Okay.
It's not this magic-y stuff.
You reach back behind the mirror to grab the amulet and pull it off. I would like you to give me a charisma saving throw, please. DC is 18.
Oh, I don't know if I'm that charismatic. Nope, I rolled a 7.
Riznor, no.
Riznor's not rizzing today.
You lay a hand. Are you grabbing the amulet by the chain or by the actual like amulet portion of it that has locked into the mirror?
He's kind of just reaching without looking, so he's probably going more for the chain.
Okay. You grab this chain, and the metal heats in your hand, forcing you to let go of it and causing you 4 fire damage.
Damn.
Yotosh, darling, you know not to call at an unappointed time. Are you still looking into the mirror?
As he hears the voice, he'd probably jump back behind the mirror.
From the other side. My dear boy, where are you? I cannot see you. I cannot smell you. What? You're not Yotash. Wet dog. Could it be the inimitable Miss Longclaw has come to entreat me?
Resnor's gonna stay quiet and he's gonna try and do the amulet again.
Cool. Go ahead and give me another charisma saving throw.
Come on, Resnor. What is with these rolls? 11?
11.
Resnor has inspiration from the audience.
All right, you can re-roll that, Resnor.
I'm gonna reroll that. Do it for the audience, Resnor. That's a 6.
Yeesh. This time, you lose your grip once more and take 8 fire damage.
This is real
No,
bad.
not Longclaw then. Who could you be?
Resnor's gonna take out a hand axe and try and use the axe to get the necklace off now.
All right. Give me another saving throw, please.
Oh, good. 21.
21. You hook the head of the axe underneath the chain, yank it up. The amulet goes flying off of the head of the axe. And the last thing you hear as the light dims, leaving a conversation without speaking. How very rude! Wisdom saving throw, DC 19.
Oh, I'm not very wise. 19!
19? Resnor,
So
you avoid the curse that was being laid upon you as a streak of violet and black light comes out of the mirror, jumps at you, circling around to the back, strikes you in the chest, and you know in your heart of hearts that you will not be taken by this thing. And the mirror grows dim. And you hear the door fly open. Zenlin.
Yeah.
The world around you is pitch black. But you don't mind. Everything's nice and grayscale for you. And you can see that you are in a very small cave with a boulder blocking the entrance. Let me get this out of the way. And he moves the boulder off. Yurtosh moves the boulder off the entrance. You can see you are in a cave set into a hillside that overlooks a small town.
Do I recognize the town?
You do not.
Okay.
You can see people scurrying to and fro, and from this distance you can see that the population is very similar in demographic to that of the fort. But people appear to be living a very nice, peaceful life here. There are trolls walking around, ogres, orcs, kobolds, goblins, all sorts of people. And you're far enough above that it is hard to make out details of any people's faces. You certainly can't hear anything that's happening. But it looks like people are happy here, from what you can see. As Yurtosh has a smile cross his face. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been back here. I think and I regret that. I lost sight of what we were fighting for. I shouldn't have sent the Wyverns out. I should have sent a couple of men to track down those, as I now know, assassins, but as I thought, scouts, and take care of them quietly. Did any, obviously the Wyverns don't really report back about the attacks.
I mean, how many of them
Did you lose
reported
any?
back?
And I'll let you know that a whole flight did. You saw a flight of Wyverns report back, the ones that left the mayor's house.
Yeah. I think the number I heard was 4. I assume that was what he was asking, right?
He's asking how many civilians died, not how many, like, outside of the assassins.
Yeah, no, I think it was 4 was the number. I think Jillian told us when Yurtash was with us at breakfast.
A total of 4 people died in the attack.
Yeah.
That includes the assassins who...
Oh. In theory, if I am doing my math correctly, I think it's 1. Like, I don't... You heard the people in the bar, like... I mean, you know that, what, 1/3, 1/4 of the Wyverns you sent out made it back. Like, we kind of dealt with the rest of them very quickly, honestly.
I'm glad you were there to make sure my mistakes did less harm than they could have. All right. Well, that's what we're fighting for down there.
So what, you wanted to steal me for 2 hours to introduce me to your parents?
Oh no, my parents are long dead.
Oh, so it was just this trip.
Well, this is the start of it. I wanted to let you know what I'm fighting for. And then feel up to hiking up the hill, reaching the peak.
Sure. As we do that, Zenlin is converting 7 sorcery points in 1 5th level spell slot so we can get back.
Okay, cool. And he gave you extra gems for this trip.
Oh yeah, I assumed, because I mean he had funded the ones to go to the Undercity. Like I said, all of this is him giving it to me, though.
I just wanted to say that so it was clear. You reach the top of the hill, and exactly opposite of this hill, on the other side of it, you see a burnt out husk of a city. A true city. And that's why we're fighting.
Is that like, was that your city?
Well, yeah, I live
Not
there for...
your, but right,
Yeah.
like
Yes, that's my home. Was my home. And though the city is gone, the name lives on with me. Yurtashorn. Broken, bleeding. But it will live on.
that's assuming everything with the plan goes well. But I will do what
If
I
I-
can to make sure that it makes it through the week.
Well, honestly, we got quite lucky. About half of us managed to evacuate before they put it to the flame. If I fall, someone else will take up the name.
Who's they?
We don't know. Came under cover of night. Didn't have any distinguishing symbols, but we don't have proof, rather. But we do know. We know that a city outside the structure of Corvair was a threat to many. I think the flame, the silver flame, took the action. I think someone else pulled the trigger, though. Someone had to aim that crossbow at us.
That's true.
And I think it's the Brelanders. Tired of Droarm asserting independence. And of course, they can't act themselves. That violate their compact with the daughters of Kel. But nothing says you can't tell the Silver Flame where a bunch of monsters are holed up. And aping at humanity.
You know, as a member of humanity, sort of, I guess, it always amazes me our capacity to see threats where there aren't some because we can't face the ones that exist.
Wise words. Wise words. Yeah. On a bit of a brighter note, picked up supplies for a meal while I was at the dock. Care to dine with me?
Well, you know, we have been out all day.
Oh, I'm getting hungry, I know that.
Yeah, you know, this seems like a very romantic overlook for a picnic over your burnt out home.
Aye. Where there's death, there's life. Where there's hate, there's love. You know, well, it's the circle of the world. No point in trying to deny it. Might as well bring it together.
Aye, and then we can get back and get back to planning. By the way, I found a couple choke points I'm sure you and your men are aware of, and he'll describe things like over dinner because Zenlin has no idea how to romance.
Wonderful. Oh, no, I hadn't even thought of using the fountain plaza like that. That's a great idea. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm so glad we have a back chat so you guys don't have to just do this in the comments. Our most recent message, I'm sure Yurtosh is real interested in your choke points.
I don't know who would say that.
Yeah, who would say that, Reznor?
They don't call him Riznor for nothing.
There's no.
But yeah, we have a very romantic picnic discussing battle plans and how we're not going to die in 5 days.
Yeah. And we'll move back to Coca-Cola, watching the door. As the council chamber door opens, Coca-Cola, you see your grandfather walk out. You're muted if you're talking.
Oh, I have D and dog in my face over here.
Ah, gotcha. You see your grandfather walks out with a very small smile on his face, but a smile nonetheless. Based on your knowledge of your grandfather and experience of him, you think this would be a big smile if he wasn't in the middle of the council chambers. He looks happy.
So it's like a minorly smug one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coca-Cola. If you'd enter the chambers with me, our family has some apologies to make.
Yeah, you got it.
As you walk side by side with him into the chamber, he leans over. I need you to give the rubies back and, tell people why we're sorry. Basically, just make something up about, recognizing that the strength of the holds is the strength of the dwarf and all that. I don't know. I haven't played at politics in forever. I know the rules, but I don't have all the words. You've got the words, but you don't know all the rules.
All right. So do I need to give them back one by one, or just present the chest and give a speech in whole?
I'd present the chest, give a speech, and then walk around and hand the rubies back one by one. Give a little bit of the, broad address, and then a little bit of personal moment to tie them in.
Okay.
And you enter the council chamber. You see it is a ringed bench around a central circle. You can tell this central circle is both a focus for magics you don't personally recognize, and functions as a teleportation circle. And you see there are 12 dwarves seated around this bench. And a little petitioner's stand, like a little podium here, straight in line with the entrance.
I want to ask grandfather before we go in, did he mention
I told them all the evidence that I had that you gave me.
And you mentioned a war and so on, right?
I mentioned the war. I mentioned the Kundaraks being, well, the owners of the Goradin,
Okay.
and the reception of that fact went quite in our favor. I'm still doing the Yurtosh voice. What am I doing?
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
All right. You see the major clans of the Morar Holds gathered here as they watch you walk in and walk up to the podium. Your grandfather stays by your side. I would present the second in line for Iron Gut leadership, my granddaughter, Kokola Iron Gut.
Is there like a formal bow or something that Kokola would have been taught as a dwarf to how to be when she's presented in front of folks?
Just a typical bow would probably be fine.
Okay. So she'll do a bow and she'll stand up and say, "My fellow dwarves of the Moorholds, I come to you today with a heavy heart and a deep sense of remorse. I, Kokola, daughter of the Iron Gut clan, humbly apologize for the actions that have brought shame upon our people. I acknowledge that my family's ambitions and decisions have caused division and discord among our clans. But today I stand before you not as a perpetrator, but as a warrior ready to make amends for the mistakes of my family. I offer the blood rubies back to our clans as a symbol of reconciliation and a pledge to of my commitment to the unity and harmony amongst us. I call upon all of you, my brothers and sisters, to set aside past grievances and join together in solidarity. The shadows of adversity loom large over our lands, threatening our way of life. We must stand as one, united in purpose and resolve to protect our homeland and safeguard our people. Let's rally together, drawing strength from our shared history and kinship as we prepare to face the challenges ahead. Let us demonstrate to the world the unwavering spirit of the Dwarven clans as we stand shoulder to shoulder in defense of our heritage and our future. May the ancestors guide us in this time of reconciliation, and may our determination and unity shine as bright as the blood rubies we now return. Together we will prevail for the Moorholds and for the honor of Dwarven kind, in unity and solidarity." And she'll go to the Noldrune family first, since they have sent 2 blood rubies. Present those. Then she'll go to the...
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay.
This is related to dwarves.
History. Dwarves. Got it. Woo! Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Looking at these blood rubies and looking at the people arrayed before you, you remember that you cannot return the rubies to Clan Noldrune.
Oh.
Clan Noldrune went extinct about 100 years ago.
Okay, so she won't do that.
You do know that Clan Londorak has taken over the holdings of Noldrune.
You said Lunderak?
Londorak, Londurak. And they, though a major clan, are not well respected for as such.
Okay.
On account of they were not originally a major clan. They ascended before Noldrune disappeared. but they did not have rubies of the deep
Okay.
upon their ascension.
So I'll go to Clan Amananth first, then Ronan, and then Tordanon, and then Soldarak. And I'll
Okay.
give one of the Noldrun rubies to the Londorak clan out of respect. And I'll present the last one to the head of the council.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know there is no formal head of council. This is it's almost like a parliamentary democracy, except these are not elected. No, parliamentary democracy is not the correct term. What would you call an inherited democracy?
I think that's
council,
monarchy.
right? No, it's not quite monarch. There's no monarch. There's no king of the dwarves. This council makes all the decisions, and in the positions on the council are inherited. That's what I'll tell you guys.
Yeah.
Either way,
Oligarchy, maybe.
sure.
I was gonna say it's pretty close to an oligarchy.
Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, and you present.
So just the last one to the council as a whole after returning to the families then.
Yeah. As you walk around the room handing out these rubies, you notice there's one council member who doesn't even turn their head to look at you as you walk around. And as you continue to move around, you realize they're not turning their head to speak to any. They're not moving at all. Their eyes are open. They're clearly breathing. But they don't blink. They don't shift. They don't even shift in their chair slightly. And you can go ahead and give me any kind of check that you think would be related to trying to figure out what's going on with this guy, whether it's insight, perception, whatever.
I would think probably insight. Is it advantage because dwarf or no?
No, advantage towards because dwarf only applies to your history checks and if I'm having you make a stone cunning or anything like that.
So just a flat 10 for insight.
He's not dead. Maybe he's paralyzed? Or he's just really, really ignoring everyone else here because he's not happy at all.
Not dead, possibly paralyzed, and or
very upset.
Puppet question mark?
Maybe.
Somebody's
and you got a 10 on the insight?
Yeah.
This dwarf does not have a patch on like everyone else. And at this moment, that history check you made earlier is going to come into effect again.
Okay.
As you remember that though House Kundarak is not a clan of the Marholds anymore, they do still have a seat for observation on the council.
Right.
They do not vote, but they can watch.
It would be one of these Kundarak cunts in here, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Which was pretty much my question when I said puppet question mark. Well, they're going to know we coming. But she'll just,
I'm so sorry. I missed that last thing there.
No, she won't say anything because her grandfather did say, only speak when spoken to or asked to speak. So she'll do her speech, return the rubies, and then she'll return to not her grandfather's side, but kind of behind him out of respect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
behind, but off to the side a little bit, so he's just in front of her.
All right, and your grandfather steps up to the front of the podium. Now that apologies have been given, I would request the council consider a motion to re-elevate the Iron Gut clan to the Iron Council and to cast out the traitors of House Kundarak. And you see whispers spread across the table. And I think at this point you can tell that someone did something to stop this Kundarak guy from speaking up or acting.
Well, hope you like how Gaius feels, because my dad sure hasn't for the last 30 years.
I'll let you know now. It's not a Gaius. It's just a hold. They've just cast hold person on him. But after your grandfather presents this to the council, you see an older woman speaks up. The head of Clan Londerock. Clan Londerock presents the motion. You see other dwarves look around. About 30 seconds pass. And a dwarf about the height of the average human stands. Clan Dronanath seconds. Let us take the vote. And you can either roll a persuasion check with help from your grandfather, or your grandfather can roll one with help from you.
I'll take help from my grandfather.
All right. For every three points, I guess, you get on this roll, another one of the houses will vote for your grandfather's proposal.
Good, wonderful. 28.
28. So that's 9. Out of the 11 voting members represented here, or 11 votes rather represented here, you garner 9 of them. The motion passes. Guards, arrest the Kundarak. And you see, still paralyzed, this man's arms are forced behind him. He is clapped in irons and hauled out of the chamber. And your grandfather walks over and takes his seat. I would like to present my first motion as a member of the Iron Council. That we go to war on the Shan enclave of House Kundarak, that we may rescue my heir who has been kidnapped and held against his will by great magics. As is my right as a clan head of the Iron Council. All in favor? And your grandfather's going to make one here. He will use the help action from you if you'll allow it.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
You see, this vote is less unanimous. Well, neither vote was unanimous. This vote is slightly less supported. Though now that there are 12 voting seat votes again, 7 votes is exactly what you needed for this motion to pass. As you see, Raranon, Kolkarun, Laranac, Toldorath, and Narathun abstain. They do not vote against, but they do not vote for it.
So what is that? 5 of them?
Five people did not vote for it and just abstained.
Well, they didn't vote against.
Correct.
So abstain is better than against. All right.
The
Well,
motion passes. Thank you for your presentation, Lady Irongut. You are dismissed. And this is coming from the Mraranon clan head.
yeah. So she'll bow, nod to her grandfather, and do they want her to leave the chamber entirely or just step off of the quote unquote platform?
It appears they want you to leave.
Yeah, so she'll go back out by the door how she was before.
All right. You hear chatter begin in the council chambers as they discuss what forces to dedicate to this assault. It sounds like they're talking military logistics now.
Where did they take the Kundarak?
You did not see as they bustled him out of the door. They took him out of the chamber, and you guess he's probably headed to jail. You can try to track that down next session as we close episode 35 of Gilded Destinies. Thanks for joining us this week. Been a great time. We'll be back next week with the war in the Undercity as our party sees pitched battle once more. I've been your GM Chip. With me tonight, as always, I have Hooli, Dawn, Jillian. It's not actually Duke. I swear. I promise you, it's not Duke.
Promise.
And it's also not Jillian. It's Shen.
I just want to remind everybody that it is June. We are coming up on our Trevor Project fundraiser here in a couple of weekends. So don't forget about that. And come hang out and check it out. That'll be great.
Yeah. Our top 4 or 5 donors.
4 or 5, yeah, depending.
Our top 4 or 5 donors will get to play in our very special charity stream run by yours truly. So please get in there, donate. Your donations will help our first week of the stream by donating through their links. You can get them some very nice magic items. And from what I've heard, they'll probably need them.
Probably, yeah. Right. All right.
Catch you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.